Welcome to Genred Off Book. I'm Katy.
And I'm Elyse.
And today, we are the guests.
I know you guys are so excited.
We are doing a 2026 check-in. So it's about mid-year. And we're going to talk about what we loved reading, what we didn't love reading, things that stood out on the podcast, just to kind of make sure we check ourselves during this mid-year time.
Yep. I mean, I know I, for one, gave myself some goals this year. And so I'm going to check up on the goals. Katy's looking at me. Katy hates goals.
I hate a goal.
She's famously known for hating goals.
Hate goals.
But I gave myself 3, so we'll go into those, see how I'm doing. I'm actually excited for this because I'm coming in off of like a real June summer reading slump, and I'm just like, who am I?
Who are
even
you?
A reader? Like, what do I have a podcast and I like don't even read? And then I go back. In fact, I've read a tremendous amount this year, and some very good, some not at all good. But I've had a great time so far this year.
And I think we're going to get into it. I have this first section as what I would like to call the state of reading.
Okay, got it. The state of reading.
Like the State of the Union. Where are we at? What are your Goodread challenges?
Okay.
And where have you clocked in? How's the vibe?
Yeah.
How are we feeling versus last year?
Okay, I can do all of this.
All right, let's start with we're all doing Goodreads. We're doing Goodreads reading challenge. So, Elyse, please tell us your goal and where you are at.
I'd also like to update us all on Goodreads because I did rant about Goodreads in our 2025 wrap-up.
You did.
Because it lied to me as to what I had actually been reading. And so, as everybody knows, I've been also keeping a reading journal this year in tandem. And I've actually found it to be an incredibly rewarding process. Goodreads is still very important. It's important for research. It is important for seeing what all of my friends are reading.
Yep.
And it is important to immediately rate something or immediately like put a note on it.
And all that's synced.
And all
the syncing is the best.
Is key. Now, of course, does it sync all the time?
No.
Of course.
I will say with my new Kindle, I think it's syncing better.
You think it's syncing better?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't find that.
Okay.
But I do find with my reading journal backup, I am keeping much better track of things this year.
Okay.
So just to say that Goodreads still can't be used alone, in my opinion, but it is still the most convenient way to get things done. I need a backup.
Yep.
But my Goodreads goal, as it always is 100. It's always what it is. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. I think it's safe to say I'm going to make it this year. Would you like to know what I'm at?
Yes. What are you at?
65. For those of you listening, Katy's giving me just an absolute sister face, an absolute shaking her head. Only sisters will understand these faces that she's making right now.
I don't know how you have the time. I really, really don't.
You know, the one thing I actually put down a bit for the vibe of my reading this year is that I think I'm really doing more audiobooks. Like, I've always listened to audiobooks, but the amount of different places I'm also listening to audiobooks has increased. So it's not just Audible. Spotify has been a real game changer.
Yep.
Like the 10 or 15 hours with like a premium subscription, which I had anyway. And then the top-ups are, I think it's like 10 hours for $10 or something like that if you like finish
You're
in a month.
topping up on Spotify?
Sometimes I'm topping up because it's cheaper. If you do the math, it's cheaper. And they roll over.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So I am doing that. And I mean, obviously still my Kindle trick when I absolutely need to, but only when there is no audiobook. So I think that does help. The more places to listen to audiobooks does help.
Okay.
What about you, Katy?
My goal this year is 35 books.
Yes. Is it always 35 books? What was it last year?
No. Last year it might have been 35 books. Let's see. I just do whatever I want, obviously, because I don't like goals. But I take a look at what I did last year and then always try to improve it a little bit. But I'm also realistic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to 50 books if I've never read 50 books before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be doing that.
Okay.
So it was 35 as well.
Okay,
but I have read 19 books.
Ooh.
And I am 2 books ahead of schedule.
That's awesome.
So that's boding well for me.
Do you think the podcast, since this is going to be our first full year of the podcast since we started about a year ago. Do you think the podcast has helped you read more books because you're reading at least 2 books a month for the podcast regardless? Or was that
No.
sort of what you were doing anyway
Because
before?
what? That's 24 books.
Mhm.
So I was definitely reading more than 24 books. I think with the podcast, it's changed my schedule and how I'm reading. And I've made a few changes that we'll talk about
Okay.
in how I'm reading. But I think I'm on track.
Yeah.
I'm not super concerned. I think I'll make my goal. And I'm pleased.
Yeah, I'm pleased too.
How would you say that 2026 has felt over 2025?
So thank you so much for asking. I did do a year-over-year analysis that I'd like to give you the highlights of now.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
So January to June 2025, I had read 36 books last year.
Wow.
And
Big
this year,
difference.
65 books. So that is plus 29 books or 80.6%
Yeah.
more year over year.
Year over year. Why, oh, why?
Yeah. Pages read,
Mm-hmm.
14,627 versus 25,800 this
Wow.
year. So it's a plus 76.4% increase in pages.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might be saying, well, Elyse, are you just reading shorter books? Is that how this is happening?
That's a good question.
I am not. The average pages last year during this time period, 406.
Okay.
This year, 397. Basically flat.
Okay, basically flat.
Last year, in these 6 months, I averaged 6 books a month.
Yeah.
This year, I'm averaging 10.8.
That's ridiculous.
So it is a pace. It's a pace.
Yeah.
It's a pace increase. And then also, I gave myself 3 goals, reading goals this year.
Okay.
Besides the 100.
Right. I already forgot them because you know how I feel about goals.
Yeah, I know you feel about goals.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll remind you. The first was to read older books in like the sense of like big books that I missed.
That have
For some
that
reason.
are not recent.
They're not recent.
Okay.
And then the other was to read memoirs. I didn't give myself a number, but I just wanted to
Okay.
read memoirs because I didn't read any last year, and I couldn't remember the last time I read any memoirs.
Okay.
And then the third was to keep Omegaverse under 10% of books read.
Yeah. How you doing on that?
I'm happy to report I'm at 9.2% of books read.
Creeping up there.
It's because of June. I've read 6 Omegaverse this year.
Okay.
I read 3 just in the last couple of weeks of June because I was in such a slump. I wasn't finishing anything. And so I needed to go back to just like the comfort reads.
Do you ever just go to sleep?
Without reading?
Yeah.
I have no memory of doing that in recent years.
Wow.
There are times that I get into my bed, open up my book, read a couple pages, fall asleep. But there's never a time in which I get into my bed, don't
open a book.
Don't open up a book. No.
Wow.
So for memoirs,
Yeah.
I've read 2.
Okay.
So I read the Jeanette McCurdy, which actually sort of, I think, counts as a slightly older book as well, like a big book that I missed.
Okay. Yeah.
And I also read Lena Dunham's
Yep.
memoir, her new one. And then for older books, depends on how I categorized it. I was just sort of looking for things like pre-2022.
Yeah.
But even then, I was getting a lot of romance series books, so I finagled the number a little bit. But I'd say I read about 5.
Okay.
Ones that I kept saying I was going to read, but I never had. So I think I'm actually doing quite well on my goals.
Okay.
And then broadly, the vibe is this is much more diverse. This first I'm reading way more diversely. I was very over-indexed on Omegaverse in particular. Like, why choose Omegaverse? And then also romance. I'm still pretty high on romance for sure. Like, romance is still like my main genre with all of its subgenres. But I'm reading a lot more of like just contemporary fiction, like lit fic. I'm reading a lot of like I have some, cozy like romances in there. A lot of like cozier fantasies, things I wouldn't necessarily call romantasies, like just fantasies. Mystery thriller horror. I had 0 last year. I had 4 this year.
Mystery thriller horror.
Mystery thriller horror. And I'm actually quite pleased with how I've diversified. Yeah. And that is straight podcast.
Yeah. That's true.
And it's just made me more interested in also reading other things. So I'm picking them up on my own too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like our next podcast book is my pick, and I picked a thriller. Like, who is she?
Who is she?
Who is she?
Thank God. She's diverse.
She's diverse.
Well, thank you so much for not asking me,
Well,
but
I'm about
I
to-
will tell you.
I was about to ask you, rude.
I obviously don't have any stats because I hate math.
Yeah.
But this I do know. Already, I have had more 5-star books than I have had in like years.
Yeah.
And they are all varying genres. I feel like I am in a bit of a reading slump right now. I'm reading multiple things, some of which I don't really like, and
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm doing. I felt like we did not, or I personally did not kick off the year with like a great set of books.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I felt like I don't know if I was set up for success from the beginning, but now I feel like I'm really.
What were like your January books that you didn't think you set it up well?
It was Direbound.
Okay, we like
We Who Will
Direbound.
Die.
We did not like We Who Will Die.
Let me just see. I have my whole list here. My Husband's Wife, Catch Her If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get Daggermouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a book called Darkest Night. Then we get Half His Age.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get A Murder Most Camp. And so I feel like I believe that was in March, I felt like things turned around for me.
Okay. So Murder Most Camp was really your turning point.
Yeah, well, I'd say Daggermouth.
Okay.
I'd say Daggermouth and then into A Murder Most Camp really shifted my perspective.
Okay, that's actually fascinating, Katy.
Yeah.
How many books outside of the podcast books have you read so far?
I have.
Because I know that was actually one of your concerns. You're going to be so busy reading the books we
Yeah.
read for the podcast that you're not going to be able to read
So I have read
private books.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've read 5 books
that's
outside
great.
of the podcast. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do for 2026 is figure out a better way to read books for the podcast, but then books that I just want to read for myself.
Mhm.
And so I've been playing around with when I do that
Okay.
and what format I'm doing that in.
Okay.
So I'm saving some of the books that I want to read to before I go to bed at night.
Mhm.
I'm making sure that the audiobooks that I'm reading are for the podcast when I have a really long drive or I have time, just so that I get some of those more out of the way so that I'm not being able to read anything before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I will shout out Spotify. Spotify has made some major changes. They now have a page match.
Yeah.
So you can just hover your phone over your Kindle and it'll match the page in Spotify.
Yeah.
So you can pick up where you left off. And that was a game changer.
Yeah. I agree.
I am not using as many hours on the Spotify Premium, but it's definitely a good backup because audiobooks are so expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm paying a ton of money for that Spotify Premium. And I think I have a family plan.
Our parents have definitely mooched onto your Spotify.
I was like, because you're not on my Spotify.
No, I've had my own Spotify forever. Like,
No.
I think I was one of the first people in our family to get the premium.
Yeah, no.
And I think I signed on where the only time you could even get a Spotify was you had to connect it to your Facebook. Like, I think that's how old my Spotify account
actually,
is.
my Spotify is connected to my Facebook, and I don't even use Facebook.
Yeah, same. So I feel like there was a few times where our parents were like, hey, can I use your Spotify? And I'm just like, sorry, it's connected to my Facebook.
Well, they're on my family plan. Shocking.
Have you found more diversity as well? Or are you sort of stuck? Because you were romantasy only last year,
I
basically.
was romantasy only, and I was so sick of it.
Yeah.
And I think because we read Direbound and then We Who Will Die, I nearly cannot tell you the differences between those two books.
No.
So I don't think I read a romantasy book until I guess I read Mate.
Okay.
And that was like at the end of March.
Yeah.
And I read that on my own. But I was a little sick of, honestly, I kind of still am a little sick of romantasies.
Yeah.
They're just, I know people, they talk about romance and loving the formula. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of knowing exactly what's going to come. I'm sick of quests.
I know, quests. We've said it once and we'll say it again. A goddamn quest.
I really am sick of quests where it's like the first book is great and then your second book is quest and then you know what your third book is like
War.
is war and then it's perhaps a quest resolution.
Yeah.
So your quest resolution is your last book and I don't want to do it in 4 books. I really don't.
No. Well, we're still petitioning for more duologies.
More duologies,
Mhm.
wrap it up nice and quick, and then move on. Let's get another story.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think that's really where I have landed, particularly for fantasy romantasy.
Yeah.
If your romantasy is leaning heavy on the romance, so you're almost doing interconnected standalones, but like with a little bit more of like an overarching. So I would put ACOTAR in that group, right?
Yeah,
so,
but ACOTAR didn't get there until
till book
4 books.
Yes, well, it took 5 books. I guess the Christmas special is a bit of an interconnected standalone.
Love the Christmas special.
Then that's okay, and that's the whole point of romance books. The interconnected standalones work, right?
Yeah.
But a big fantasy book is going to be too big for one book. Then I'm going to be reading a 1,000-page book, and I don't want to do that. But a duology, 2 500-page books,
Love it. And then we're done with the story.
and then we're done.
And I feel really good. We've resolved things.
Mhm.
I'm not in this constant waiting game.
And then you could spin it off to some of your favorite
wait.
side characters.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I feel like I'm getting fatigued.
Yeah.
I'm getting fatigued from romantasy. And I do think I picked up some of the most random books that I would never have picked up. And I'm very glad that I did.
But the one thing I also want to shout out, because I noticed when I was looking through it, not only have I replaced romantasy pretty heavily with dystopian books, the new wave of like the modern ones that have been coming out, but then I went back to read some of the classic dystopian that I hadn't read.
You did? Oh, like you haven't read.
Like, so for example, like Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro.
Yeah.
That was one of those books that I missed. That one, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Station 11.
Yep.
I mean, truly, I still think about that book. I'd even put Red Rising on this sort of, it's
I
a
know
little
you're reading that.
fantasy-y, but it's like, we're on Mars. And I'm not only enjoying the new ones, but also the older ones that I'm picking up. I think fantasy is a little bit too... Silly is not the right word, because I love fantasy, and I will always love fantasy. I'll love romantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the right word. But, like, things are kind of a dumpster fire, so, like, I'm interested to see what happens after the world ends. I think that's sort of where I'm going right now. Like,
I feel like these romantasies are not giving me anything different.
Yeah.
And the dystopian-like worlds kind of top of mind. And they're giving us all something a little bit different. At least the ones that I think we've read are just totally different from each other. And now I'm like, every single romantasy I feel like I pick up, I'm like, oh, we're doing this now.
It's the quest that gets you every time, Katy.
It's a fucking quest. And I felt like it took me this long to be like, God damn it. Second book is always a quest.
Yeah.
And now
You're
I'm
not wrong.
So it's like, I'm not looking for that in a sequel. We got to talk about some of our favorite reads, because some of them I felt like really broke either the genre, the sequel formula, if you will. And I'm interested to hear what your top 5 are.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. I want to give a couple honorable mentions, because I could have definitely done 10, but I think 10 is for the full year. So that's why we did 5.
Yes.
But I'm going to give a couple honorable mentions. And the first 2 are from 2 of the guests that we've had on Off Books. And it's Unconventionally L by Jordana Weber and Play It Again by Georgia Clark. These were both romances, but like different and sort of formula breaking in a bunch of ways. I mean, still have the tropes that we love, still have the story and the beats that we're looking for, but they were different, exciting. It was something that I really enjoyed. Unconventionally L has like a really great coming of age story, basically. It's just somebody who's, later in life, a corporate girly who burns it down. Don't we all want to do that?
We all do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Play It Again is like a adorable queer romance with 2 second chance romance couples who are in a play trying to save the town they grew up in. It's so cute. It's so adorable. So good. So those are my 2 romance honorable mentions.
Yes.
And then I'm giving Dungeon Crawler Carl an honorable mention
not even a top 5.
He was my number 1 last year. And
you have 3 honorable mentions,
I have 3
Elyse.
honorable mentions. So sorry. But because when I looked at it, like when I was ranking it, I have in my book journal, I have a top 6 because it makes a pyramid.
I see.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's for purely aesthetic.
Aesthetically
It's
pleasing.
purely aesthetic reasons, and Dungeon Crawler Carl was number 6. So this is still an incredibly important series to me. I definitely read, I believe, the last 3 in 2026. So 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
And This Inevitable Ruin, which is 7, is truly one of my favorite books of all time. It's a perfect book, This Inevitable Ruin.
That's not the latest book?
It's not the latest book.
Okay.
The Parade of Horribles is the latest, which I
those.
really liked. But This Inevitable Ruin, I think about on a regular basis. Just the title. Like, the title is so meaningful and perfect in, like, the world of the book that, like, I can't even talk about it.
Okay.
So it is an honorable mention because I read some other stuff this year, and it was my number 1 last year. It'll be in my top 10 for sure, but I think it might get pushed down just because of what else I'm reading. So I think maybe I can go to you for the next one because I just gave 3 honorable mentions.
Should I give my honorable mention?
Yeah, give your honorable mention.
Okay, so I will give my honorable mention to Strangers, a memoir of marriage by Belle Burden, which is obviously a very buzzy book right now.
I still have to read it.
Truly not a book that I would have ever read. Brianna recommended it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a memoir, and it's about marriage.
Yeah.
Like, things I'm just not interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually thought it was thrilling.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the only one that's going to say that. But
everybody else is like, it's horrifying.
It's horrifying, but I know so many people that this has happened to. Yeah. And to listen to this woman's point of view on how her marriage unraveled and, you know, how her and her ex-husband came to break up their assets, like figure out their children and what was happening with each of their separate relationships. I couldn't wait to figure out what was going to happen. And I think it's because every person's story is a little bit different, but I could relate it back to friends that have had similar things happen. And I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know that this happens. And
of just what an absolute mess divorce is.
Yeah, but also oh my God, my husband is going to walk out on me and my family. It's just like everything was fine yesterday.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this person is leaving a 20-year marriage with 3 kids. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I know people that has happened to. Or, you know, just walk out on an engagement just to never speak to that person again. And I think what they talk about is, you know, Belle Burden cannot wrap her head around, you know, why? Why did this happen? Why did this happen now? And the point is that you're never going to figure out why. And you got to figure out how to move forward. And damn, do you need to find your own assets. You got to keep your money separate. That is a scary, scary realization.
Yeah.
So that's my honorable mention. I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. So my number 5, and I ranked it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
My number 5 is Daggermouth.
Wow, Elyse. It's higher up on that list than I thought.
It's higher up on my list than you thought?
Yeah, not like a top.
Oh, like it's like lower, like it's on top.
Yeah.
I was going to say, after I read Daggermouth, I thought it was going to remain my number 1 book of the year.
Yeah.
But May happened. The reading I did in May was unbelievable, and it actually pushed almost everything down. But Daggermouth is still outstanding.
Yeah.
It's really what put me back on this dystopian kick.
Yep, for sure.
And it's being traditionally published in August, I want to say.
I want to say maybe end of July?
Yeah. I mean, we read it before it had an audiobook. God bless us.
We had to read with our eyes. We did not know the name of anyone in that book.
No, we didn't know how any name was pronounced. And I'm actually still unsure.
Yeah.
I think the author has done several TikToks and Instagrams about how it's pronounced, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I've pronounced it away in my head, and it's never going to go away.
It's never going to change.
But yeah, so that was my number 5.
Okay. So, you know, I don't like to rate because I think all of my top fives are.
All of your 5 stars are number 1.
They're all number 1 in my book. But I will give the 5th slot to Rumors and Whiskey.
Okay. Yeah.
By Victoria Wilder, which is something we just read for the pod. And I thought it was so fun.
I know.
That is a great way to get me to read romance when there is a love story, murder, witness protection, and some crazy family members that remind me of Practical Magic.
Yeah. It was so good. And also, I've recommended it to a bunch of people. And actually, a fair amount of people have listened to the pod or like wanted to read it so they could listen to the pod. And they've all loved it.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah. But one of my predictions for 2025 was that Victoria Wilder was really going to like pop off. I just really love her style of writing. And she's doing romantic suspense.
And I love it, I think.
Yeah. And it's not, she's not the first to do it by any means, but I think she's doing it so well right now.
Yeah.
And I was really excited for the Whiskey Women series, and it did not
disappoint. Very excited for the next books in those series.
Yeah. All right. My number 4 is A Murder Most Camp by Nick DiDemizio, also an author who's been on the pod a couple of times.
Wait, can I just say that's also my number 4?
Okay, good. Perfect. We can talk about it at the same time.
Yeah.
I read it in one sitting on a plane ride over to Copenhagen. And it was
oh my gosh, yeah,
so fun.
And I finished it in March. I was just going to say, I see it's March 3rd. I finished it because you gave it to me
at the end of January.
No, you gave it to me.
It's at the end of February. I'm sorry.
At the end of February. And I had to turn it around in a few days because we were having Nick on the podcast and I wanted to make sure that I had read it. And I had literally just finished it when he was on, right before we talked to him. And I was like, I am so hot off this book.
Yeah, it was so good.
I think that is like a cozy mystery to me.
Somehow it's both a summer and a fall book.
Yes.
Because obviously it takes place at a summer camp. But reading it in January was also a fine time to read it. It was a cozy mystery. It had an adorable cast of zany characters, some of them being children.
Yep.
And also a cute little love story.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
Loved it.
It had it all.
Yeah.
All right. My next.
Yeah.
I guess my third. How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson.
So good.
It is a horror rom-com, a genre that I've certainly never read before. We read it for the podcast. It was so fun.
I know. It was so fun.
It was so fun.
It was legitimately scary at some points.
Very scary. Could not read it at night sometimes.
But mostly fun.
Yeah. But also horror.
Yeah. I mean, it was horror. It was scary. But like slasher horror.
Yeah, slasher horror.
Yeah.
Not like, thriller horror. It was slasher horror.
It was slasher horror, which those are the movies, at least, I haven't even attempted to watch since Scream. Like since I was in middle school or high school. Because I'm like, these are too terrible and I hate them.
Yeah. And that being one of the only horror movies I feel like I've ever seen. That's all I needed to see to understand and relate to this book. I thought it was awesome. I can't say enough great things about it.
Yeah, and she's coming out with a new book. I feel like relatively soon. I see her teasing it a lot. I don't know if there's a date.
And I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem like it's connected. I think it's
I think it's
just a second book, but I do feel like it's another horror rom-com.
It is a horror rom-com for sure, and I think it's also based on another movie, like how this one was very Scream based.
Oh, interesting.
I might be talking out of my patootie though.
I hate that.
Talking out my patootie.
Okay.
All right. So my next one is really a favorite series. And this is, I think, the reason why I had to give Joshua Carl an honorable mention, because there was a new series that took over the beginning of my 2026.
Oh, yeah.
And that was The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon.
Yep.
And cozy romance, but with some of the best found family I've ever read.
Yeah.
And not only with the main 4 characters, so Emma and the 3 men that she meets, but even the extended characters. And there's a lot of zany extended characters in this book. The world building is excellent. Emma herself is both courageous and vulnerable. There's the slowest of slow burn romances in it. No one even
has a smooch.
No one even has a smooch until like book 6. There's 8 books out. Beth Brower is writing more, but she did get picked up by Bloomsbury. So all of these are about to be traditionally published. So I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer for 9. But this could be like a 50 book series. She has not necessarily stated how long it's going to be.
Nice.
I know. And for just like these cozy books.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're hilarious. There are scenes in these books where I like laughed out loud. It was almost slapstick, but in a very Victorian, proper English sort of way.
Yeah.
Like
I love that.
So that's an entire series. Emma M. Lyon, I read them from January to March, all 8 books. And excellent audiobooks also for anybody. Really, really good audiobooks. And I think when we had Lanoy on, she said that Dungeon Crawler Carl reminded her of just the opposite of Emma M. Lyon.
Yeah.
And it is true. Not a single parallel in story, don't get me wrong, except for maybe the found family portion of it. But it's the same type of reading experience in the sense that it's very all-encompassing, and the audiobooks are almost better than the books. I would almost tell people to listen to Emma and Dungeon Crawler Carl before I would tell you to read them. The experience of listening to these books is really, really good.
Is the Emma M. Lyon have like the sound effects and stuff or no?
No, but the woman who reads it, because it's all in Emma's voice, because it's Emma's journals, is perfect.
Oh,
like it's a perfect person to read them.
Perfect gal.
Yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl is a whole whole production, but and it is only one person voicing all of the characters, but the man voicing all of these characters is excellent. Yep. It's insane. I don't even know how he keeps track of it. Dungeon Crawler Carl is something like 100 or 150 named characters.
That's wacky.
It's wacky. It's wackadoodle for sure.
All right, my second is Daggermouth by H.M. Wolfe.
Ooh, so it's not number 1. I was wondering if it was going to stay number 1 for you.
It's not number 1 at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. It's great. I'm great dystopian book to kick off the year. Yeah. That was when I felt like that was my turning point. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited about what's next to come there.
Okay. My number 2.
Yep.
Yesteryear.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, where like not all of these are 5 stars, but like that one I still haven't stopped talking about. I have been recommending it to everybody, and I did really love it because it did surprise me. Everybody talks about the twist, and yes, the twist was twisty, but it just wasn't the type of book I thought it was going to be going in. It was an example of the marketing actually helping it. In my opinion, it was more of a psychological thriller than it was following a trad wife around.
Yeah.
And the marketing around it is very you following a trad wife around. And I'm so glad that they didn't give me
a reality TV show.
Yeah, like a reality TV show or anything like that. It was so good. I think it's a reason why it's, a big buzzy book of the year. Yeah. And I'm not only happy that we read it for the podcast, but I'm happy that we read it sort of going into the summer because it's like my number 1 suggestion to everybody looking for something to read when they're going on vacation. And everybody comes back and they're like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, that's right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. It's my number 1?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to give my number 1 slot to Broken Dove.
I literally saw it in the snack down there and I was like, wow, you love Broken Dove.
I was touched.
Yeah.
I was touched by an angel with that book.
Yeah.
And I don't often say that sequels are better than the first book.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved it. And I couldn't get enough of it.
I'm so happy. You know, I didn't feel that way about the book.
But I honestly felt like you didn't feel that way about Silver Elite, so I wasn't really surprised.
The thing is that I liked the book. I liked both of them. It's falling into that sort of romantasy gray area for me, I think. It's not. I would call it dystopian. Or
I would call it a dystopian romance. But I just thought it was different. And sure, there's some of the same tropes, but guess what? It was a frickin' sequel and we didn't have a quest.
We didn't have a quest. That's true, Katie.
We didn't
even have training.
Quest.
Like, it wasn't even like a trade. Like, she didn't have to go away to be trained so she could beat everybody.
I actually really liked the world building in this because I felt like it gave way more information and made me even more interested in what I imagine is going to be a war book next.
Yeah.
Which I don't like war books, but I'm going to read it because there's other things that are going on that have piqued my attention. Alrighty, Elyse, what's your number one?
My number one is Into the Blue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so Into the Blue by Emma Brody.
Okay.
And this is also a big buzzy book right now. It's a romance, but I don't know if you would like it,
I
Katie,
probably would not.
but it's more than just a romance.
It's not formulaic.
Yeah, it's straddling the literary fiction, like romance type of area. It follows these two people who knew each other in high school, and they acted together.
Oh.
And so the male's main character's grandmother was a famous improv actress. She was on like a really campy sort of sci-fi show.
Okay.
And she trained the main female character and the main male character for a summer. And they had just like this sort of magical summer, kissed one day and then he disappeared forever. He became a famous actor.
Mm-hmm.
She became a writer, which is always what she wanted to do. She wanted to become a writer. She ends up getting a job at SNL.
Oh.
And they meet each other back and forth like throughout this career. They end up both being on a reboot of that campy sci-fi show that his grandmother got famous on. It's called Into the Blue. And then you just sort of follow them just being thrown together.
Again.
Like again and again and again. Like
interesting.
And then there's, again, a twist, which I won't spoil here, that, makes things even a little bit more interesting. But it was such a cool mix of a relatively high-stakes romance and Hollywood. Like a Hollywood sort of like glamour, and also like inside almost like an inside the actor studio type of thing, like what it takes to be a good actor. And when you talk about chemistry with actors, like what that really means. It was really, really interesting. So good. All right. Katie, you want to give us your one-line plot for the year so far? First 6 months of 2026?
Yes. Okay. My 2026 reading journey so far can only be described as too many wolves, surprise genre awakenings, women behaving a little too badly for my taste, plot twists that needed adult supervision, and multiple series leaving me dramatically unresolved while I try to become the kind of person who can read more than one book at a time.
Excellent. And you are almost becoming a person who can read more than one book at one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
Mine is a mood reader follows romance, murder, cozy letters, and one very loud cat down a rabbit hole while accidentally becoming a more well-rounded reader.
Wow.
I'm really proud of all of the different genres I've really branched out on this year.
I really love it.
Yeah.
Before we get into our rapid fire superlatives.
Yeah.
Is there anything that was a big surprise, whether that was good or bad?
Yeah. I think I had a bunch of surprises here, but the one that I haven't spoken about yet is The Book Witch.
Oh,
yes.
I'm reading it now.
I know, yeah. Like The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so adorable.
So cute.
Like, it's so cute. It's also very much a world like I want to live in.
Yes.
And it was also touching. I was touched. I was touched by it.
You were chuffed.
I was chuffed. And you're reading it now?
Yeah, I'm reading it now.
How far through are you?
I'm almost done.
Okay. I loved the way it was told. It was told in genres.
Yeah.
The book was separated into parts, and like each part was a genre. It's just so nice. It was like the perfect example of like a cozy fantasy.
Yep.
And yes, there's romance in it, but it's not a romantasy. It's a cozy fantasy with a strong B plot, strong romance B plot.
Yep.
I really loved it. That was one of my best surprises of the year. I think along with How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates.
Yeah,
I put on here as well. And then Famesick, I think, would be the other one, which I really like Lena Dunham, but I was surprised at how much I liked her memoir. Like, it's something that's really stuck with me.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then for my sort of like bad surprises, I would say I've been recommended Ellen Hildebrand by everybody because I'm such a big romance reader. They're like, why haven't you read any Ellen Hildebrand? And I said, no reason. I just missed it, I think. Those type of beach reads tend not to be the type of romance that I'm looking for, but I've been proven wrong a bajillion times just in the past year and a half. So I said, sure. Our friend Brianna, friend of the pod,
Yep.
gave me one to read called The Blue Bistro, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it really on a visceral level, I'll be honest with you. And it was a writing thing. It was a
Yeah.
bit of a writing ick that I got from it.
I agree.
I've started 5-Star Weekend
Yeah,
just because I want to give Ellen another chance, because Blue Bistro was written in the early 2000s. And I'm wondering if that was part of the ick I was getting from it. But like,
Yeah.
I knew that was when it was written. So I wasn't like looking for these people to be texting, and it took place in a restaurant. So that was not really the issue. I'm going to give 5-Star Weekend. It's about to be a Netflix show with every huge female
Oh, really?
actress it's starring. I just want to say Jennifer Lopez. That's not it. The other Jennifer who was married to Ben Affleck.
Oh, Jennifer
Gardner.
Yep.
Jennifer Gardner, and then so many, and then
Not married to Ben Affleck
not
anymore.
married to Ben Affleck anymore.
Mm.
And then 4 other absolutely stellar over 40s actresses. So
Interesting.
I think I'll read it just to see how the vibe is, but I did not like her in a real visceral way.
Yep.
What about you? What are your thoughts, good or bad?
I agree with the Ellen Hildebrand.
Which did you try to? Because I know Brianna gave you one of the
Nantucket Nights.
and that's like a thriller suggestion, right?
Yeah. It's stupid. And I
Interesting.
think I'm like 25% of the way through, and I'm like, I don't want to read this anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, life's too short to read a book you don't like.
Yeah.
I went through.
I'm like, I want to go back to the Book Witch.
Yeah, go back to the Book Witch. I pushed through Blue Bistro for scientific reasons. Like, I was waiting to see if something changed my mind, and it
Yeah.
did not.
So yeah, that's definitely one of my bad surprises. I think my biggest surprises were the various different genres. So the rom-com horror
Yeah.
by Shaylee Thompson, the fact that I read a memoir, which was crazy. But I think my other bad surprises, Half His Age.
Oh,
Jeanette McCurdy. Man, no.
I know. I mean,
No. It's a big no for me.
yeah. I will say that I was ready for it to be like a girl dinner for me, like a book that I didn't
No.
like when I was reading it, but then it kind of grew on me and I told everybody to read it afterwards.
Yeah.
It has not. That's not what
No.
Half His Age has done.
I am so glad that it's like out of my mind.
So this is going to be our superlative section. We're going to actually ask the same questions we asked on our 2025 episode, which I think is a great way to sort of keep ourselves honest throughout the year. So this is going to be quick answers. We're going to use our Dancing with the Stars paddles. We're just going to be quick fire, rapid fire. So the first question, your favorite book boyfriend of the year so far? Okay. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Boom.
Cross Redden.
Cross Redden. Wow, I have Julian from Rumors and Whiskey.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Interesting. Although I do love Cross, but Julian,
I know.
that's what I'm looking for in a supportive, talented, dangerous man.
Dangerous king.
Okay. Next. The person you would want to hang out with from a book the most.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ooh!
Annabelle? Ooh.
I did Annabelle from A Murder Most Camp.
Oh my God. I almost did her too, but I did Rainy March from the Book
love
Witch.
that.
Because I want her to take me into the books.
I know. That would be so much fun.
I don't think about umbrellas the same way ever since I've read the Book Witch.
It's such a cozy book. Our mom would love this book, actually.
Oh my God. We should tell her to read it. She would really like it. Okay. Sequel you're most excited for. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh, Python. So same thing. Yeah. The sequel to Daggermouth.
Yes.
By H.M. Wolf. I'm very excited. I think it's coming out this year.
Okay. So I was going to say, I don't know if that was just all TikTok gossip. Because I actually don't know if it's coming out, and I'm upset.
I feel like she said it was coming out at one point, but
I-
it could have changed. It was before she got picked up
I know.
traditionally. So
And it could be that now it's all getting
Pushed back,
republished.
yeah.
The audiobook is coming out. I doubt they're going to have a second book come out,
here, let's just have a quick.
which is kind of terrible.
Let's just see what Goodreads has to say for a second. It says expected November 30th, 2026 on Goodreads.
Wow. I would be absolutely chuffed if that was the case.
I would be absolutely chuffed. Chuffed and chortled.
Chuffed and chortled.
Okay. All right. You ready for the next question?
Yes.
Best plot twist. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Boom. I knew it. I saw that you weren't writing, but obviously Daggermouth, best plot twist.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, it was plot twist on top of plot twist.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I know. And by anyone, we mean
Brianna.
We mean Brianna. We don't care what Brianna says.
Cruel.
Cruel. She was wrong for her
She
opinion
was
of Daggermouth.
so wrong.
She was wrong. That last 10% of that book, unbelievable. Okay. Fave new to you author.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. So Beth Brower for me, all for the M.M. Lion, and H.M. Wolf for you.
I have to say H.M. Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Okay. Book you couldn't stop thinking about, for better or worse. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Show. Ooh, Yesteryear for you. I cheated. I picked 2. Mine is Famesick for better.
Okay.
And then Half His Age for worse.
Okay. I did Yesteryear for better or for worse
Yeah.
because I've been talking about it, thinking about it. It's a good book.
It's a good book, man.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
Good book. And you can tell because people either love it or hate it.
Yep.
All right. Worst third act. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I can't believe it took you this long to talk about how much you hated Catcher If You Can. Mine is The Blue Bistro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Ellen, I don't know what you're doing there.
Catcher If You Can. Stupid.
I'll never forget how I really, really enjoyed Catcher If You Can until you reminded me that the main character was like 23 years old. And I just skipped over that. I just said, no, thank you. In my mind, she's 35, in which case this is all totally fine.
No.
And that was not the case?
Yeah.
Okay, most unnecessary plot twist. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah. I picked We Who Will Die because so the vampires are they're mad that they can't see the sun. That's the plot twist. And then you picked My Husband's Wife.
And I just thought they were like the stupidest twists.
Yeah.
It was like a miscommunication of all miscommunication. No one had any idea what was going on.
No. My favorite quote of yours from that episode was that no one knew what anybody looked like.
No one was like, hey, that girl and that girl are not the same person.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay.
Okay. Now we're doing book that felt like a personal attack.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I knew you were going to say Half His Age.
Yeah. I mean, this truly was an attack on my mental capacity.
I did Blue Bistro again. As somebody who used to work in restaurants, the fact that this book was a restaurant book made me want to scream. Made me want to scream.
I hate that for you.
Okay. And then book you would adapt for TV immediately.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh.
Okay.
I like yours better because mine's a bit of a cheat because it is adapted. Dudge
Yeah.
Carl. I can't wait for it.
And so I'm saying A Murder Most Camp because
That's such a good idea.
some of these other, like some of the books that we read, I'm like, I feel like every one of them pretty much has an adaptation out there. Like Yesteryear, of course. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's going to be. Alice Feeney has so many shows now of her books. But I think A Murder Most Camp with like the Schitt's Creek kind of vibe would be such a good TV series.
It would be. You're so
Nick.
right. Nick, so those right. I'm sure he's like, ladies, you don't have to tell me twice.
I was like, Nick, sign me up, put me on your team.
Yeah.
I want a sequel. I've got ideas,
I know.
and I'll get you a TV deal.
Yeah, with all of your vast experience in
TV.
In TV.
I do love the TV, and I love a good mystery.
I know.
Okay, I've got a couple more questions.
Tell me.
What are you most excited to read in the back half of 2026?
Oh, that's a great question. Not something I prepared for.
I know.
I've got some more old school dystopian lined up.
Okay.
Keep saying I'm going to read The Measure. It's just not necessarily gotten off my TBR. I want to read The Road, which is a modern classic, if you will. Obviously, Sarah J. Maas and ACOTAR 6 and 7. I think those are off the top of my head. I didn't prepare. What are you thinking about? You throwing this question at me out of nowhere.
I know. Well, obviously, ACOTAR 6 and 7.
Yeah.
But what I'm most looking forward to is reading more holiday and fall themed books.
Oh, you want to be a little bit seasonal in your reading.
I want to be a little bit more seasonal.
Okay.
I've never done that before, and we did it last year, and there was a couple of like fun little books. I would also love shorter books.
Yeah.
Just some like real quick 200-page
Yeah.
little mysteries. I did a couple of holiday mysteries around Christmas last year, and I liked those. And now I want to do some fall ones.
Yeah, I think you read a really cute holiday mystery I didn't read, but it's like,
Yeah.
and I think that author is coming out with another one.
Oh my God, is she really?
Yeah, just remind me what it's called.
The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year.
Yes,
by Allie Carter.
She's coming out with another one.
I thought that was fun. The Gift by Frida McFadden, which I had you read, which is also it's like a short story.
Yeah.
Incredible. I also read The Mistletoe Mystery.
Oh, okay.
Which was cute. So I'm very interested in doing that again.
December we should just read Christmas books in December.
Oh my gosh. Or like winter book. I love it. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Am I right about Allie Carter? Let me see.
I liked it. That was
Carter.
fun.
I know.
It was a fun book.
It seemed cute.
Oh my gosh, wait. It's beginning to look a lot like Murder?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes, it's coming out
Okay.
October 13th, 2026.
So cute. Maybe every month from October to December, we read one themed book.
Because
like
there's also
Halloween,
some of those really, really cute
fall
themed books. I think we should do that because when people say they're mood readers, I don't know if I'm really a mood reader. I just pick what I pick, but I think I want to be more intentional about what I read during the time of the year, because then I feel like it's going to get me more in the holiday spirit and the fall spirit, which is my favorite time of year.
You love to be in the holiday and fall spirit.
I love to be I love to deck those fucking halls.
Yeah. Summer reading is not something we're interested in as a duo. We're interested in fall and winter reading.
I'm just not. Summer is not my season.
I know. We've gotten better at it.
Yeah,
but we're still not great at it.
No, we're still not great at it.
Yeah. Did you have another question for me? Another surprise question?
What is one thing that you're changing about your reading habits?
Oh. I mean, if the numbers don't lie, and they don't, it is that I am sort of diversifying my reading. I mean, just in the first half of the year alone, I read like 19 Omegaverse. I couldn't recommend them to anybody. Again, I'm not going to stop reading them because I do enjoy them. And now I'm reading all sorts of new and fun things that I would have never picked up before. And I really am liking that I'm reading more variety, trying new things. It's been so many years since I've just read like the new hot book. And not because of any particular reason. It was like my brain couldn't read them. So I like rewired my brain to only read like a handful of things.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I've rewired it once again.
Yeah. Rewired it back.
Yeah. What about you? Okay.
I mean, what I'm changing is that I am trying to read multiple books at a time so that I've got one audiobook going, one book that I am reading just at night.
Okay.
And I'm really trying to do a good book to audiobook ratio.
Okay. How's that going for you?
I think it's going well.
Okay.
I think it's going well. There's actually a few books that I've read this year that I only listen to on audiobook.
Yeah.
So like Half His Age, for example, I never actually read with my eyes.
Yeah, it was just
I only had it on audiobook, and I've really leaned into audiobooks because I got things to do.
You got things to do. And also, it's such a good, I mean, I've listened to audiobooks forever, but I would still go in and out of audiobooks.
I still go in and out. I won't say that it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you miss context.
Yeah. Or there are just some times where I am in like a music moment, or I do want to listen to podcasts. Like there's other things I want to consume with my ears.
Yeah.
sometimes, and audiobooks get pushed down. But I would say, I mean, definitely second half of last year, first half of this year. If I was listening to something, it was an audiobook.
Yeah.
June was the first time where I was in the car driving our long distance commute.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, no audiobook for me, just music. And that
Yeah.
was a weird thing that happened in June.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of I've caught up on my podcast, so
Yeah. You love your motor podcast.
I love my murder podcast. All right. I think that's it.
I think that's it. I'm glad that we did this touch point because I think it's going to be really interesting to look back on it at the end of 2026 to see what has maintained. Because
I'm interested to see.
yeah, I'm actually surprised just how my top 5 has sort of shifted just in these 6 months.
We'll see.
I know.
All right. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, no genre shaming unless it's funny.
Bye.